Witness B, are you there? Witness B?
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning to you too. You are still under your oath.
Yes, Commissioner.
Yes, you there?
Yes, Commissioner.
Good morning, Commissioners. If we can start with a little bit of housekeeping. Yesterday, there were a couple of issues that arose and some documentation I promised to provide. So the first is the Transnet scheme that we projected. The second is the ballistic comparison that we compiled. And then the third, you will recall when the witness returned to dealing with the meeting with General Shibiri, we referenced that at a later stage she discovered in Mr. Matlala's phones that General Shibiri had constant communications and exchanges of money there. So we've also compiled those WhatsApp messages for ease to be attached to this set of papers. So Ms. Nube will hand these up.
Ms. Bowe, you haven't forgotten that you also need to reference the stocking, whether it's pictures. Remember the witness said from the 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, Mr. Swart was stalked or scouting. They were scouting. And then we asked that you refer us to the evidence that speaks to that.
Yes, Commissioner Baloya is saving the best for last.
That's fine.
Only because it's slightly more complicated. So we're going to take the commissioners through this. Okay. The text of the papers is fairly small, so I will give the explanation that the witness gave, and I'll ask her to confirm that the correctness of the
That's fine. I was just making sure you didn't forget. That's all.
Absolutely not.
Thank you.
Commissioners, you will recall yesterday that witness B explained that what happens first, or perhaps to deal with the terminology on the schedule that was handed up for ease. If you look at the item we marked 1, which is highlighted in pink or lavender if you are a fan of different colors, it has a tiny number 1.
Can our technical people assist here? My colleague, Commissioner Kumalo's screen is blank, but we should continue. But let's continue so long.
So the version that will be on your screens is redacted because that is the version we're also displaying for the public. So it may be better to refer to the tiny text one printed. So there's a 1, there's a column, the first column is date and time, the second is record type. So you'll see it's either MS originating or MS terminating. So terminating is for incoming calls, and originating is where the user initiates the call. So these call records were obtained from Mr. Molefe's phone. So if you then go to the first one that we've marked, and that happens on the 12th of April at 11:36, you will then see that Tau receives a call from Mr. Molefe. So can you see that? And then the second of relevance is at 11:43. Tau makes a call to Mr. Molefe. Commissioners, I'm not sure you have the annexures from witness A. And there, if I can refer you to WA1 at page 42. If you don't have them at your disposal, if you check the screen in front of you, it's displayed, and this set of records is now from Mr. Tau Pule's phone. And there you can see the 2 incoming and outgoing calls at the bottom of the page at 11:36 and 11:45. The difference in terminology here is that in the column 1, 2, 3, 4,
Is it
5,
not 11:43? You said 45, I
my
think.
apologies, Chair. Yes, it's 11:43. In order to identify the type of call in the fifth column, you'll see call type. It will either say MTC or MOC. MTC is incoming call and MOC is initiating call. So it corresponds with the 2 calls that we cited in.
And where do you get this technical information from? I'm not trying to put you on the spot.
Not at all. The investigators and their analysts took us through the terminology.
No, thank you.
Can I perhaps have the witness confirm what you say? As you started, everything that you started with, yes. Have the witness confirm it.
Witness B, can you confirm the correctness of what I just described in relation to the 2 calls identified in Mr. Molefe's records and then identified in Mr. Pule Tau's record?
I confirm, Commissioners.
Can I, witness B, as you confirm that, can we just confirm for the record that you have the schedule, and maybe Ms. Bowe just take her through that, confirm what she has in front of her, what she's looking at, and that she confirms what you've said in relation to those documents.
Witness B, do you have the call data and tracking information provided yesterday that deals with Mr. Molefe's phone and movements?
Yes, I do have.
And do you have the annexures to witness A's statement, in particular the annexures that deals with Mr. Tau's calls and movements?
No, that I don't have.
If I am going to ask that you look at the shared screen on the Zoom link, can you see the table that's displayed that deals with Mr. Tau's call records? The call at...
Yes, I can see.
Yes, the call at 11:36 and at 11:43.
Yes, I can see that.
And can you confirm that the explanation given regarding the two sets of calls is correct?
Yes, Commissioners, that's correct.
Commissioners, then at 12:16, and this time is reference to WA1. Witness B is also on the screen, and this is where Mr. Bule Tau arrives at Mr. Molefe's residence, which should be considered with the next entry, which is...
Again on that, do you want to have the witness confirm, please?
Witness B, can you confirm the correctness of this?
Yes, Commissioner, I confirm.
The next thing of relevance is that at 12:21, the Viano leaves Mr. Molefe's house, and that is seen from WA1 at page 43 at the bottom of the page, and that is displayed on the screen. Witness B, can you confirm the correctness of this?
I confirm, Commissioners.
You will recall that the assertion that Witness B made yesterday was that after this, Mr. Molefe travels with Mr. Tau to do the scouting. So then we will revert back to the schedule that deals with Mr. Molefe's phone, and if you have regard to number 3, the items highlighted there, you will see the cell tower information is contained in the last column that deals with the suburb. And there you'll see that his phone was connecting to a tower in Duncanville, and that is the area.
Both phones
Yes.
both phones appear to be, but again, let's have the witness confirm.
Yes.
So there are 4 entries that say Duncanville in respect of the 2 cell phone numbers.
Yes, so that's just to confirm that the phones were there and were making calls while they were there.
Yeah.
And we'll refer to another statement just now, if I can just have Witness B. Witness B, can you confirm that this is correct, that Mr. Molefe's phone was pinging in a tower in Duncanville alongside the phone of Mr. Tau?
I confirm, Commissioners.
And just inform us, what again, it may have been mentioned before, what again is an originating base station? I do see the originating suburb and the base station. Harrington ATC, 4 entries of that. Would it be what we colloquially call in my language, Ipali awa Vodacom, Ipali awa MTN, Pali being pole?
Chair, we'll ask the witness to confirm, but it is that explanation that one is a broader area.
Witness, let's just
Witness
get
B?
Witness B to explain. Witness B,
Witness
what's
B?
an originating base station?
Commissioner, my understanding of that it's the tower.
And then Witness B, can you just confirm for us that Duncanville is an industrial area in Vereeniging?
That's correct, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Commissioners, you'll then see on the same schedule marked number 4 is the distance between the tower and where they were, in QTech, actually.
May the witness read that into the record. What's the distance reflected, the distance between the tower and QTech, Witness B?
It's 504 meters.
44, not 4. 544.
Sorry, Commissioners, it's 544 meters.
Yes. Yes, Ms. Bowe.
And the last aspect in this regard, I'll ask the commissioners to have regard to CJC4, and that is the Molefe bail bundle at page 40 to 41.
This is the transcript.
Yes. You will recall that the witness testified that when asked about this, the response given by Mr. Molefe was that he had left his car, his cell phone in Mr. Tau's car. And reference to that response is at pages 40 and 41 at paragraph 19. It starts at page 40, at the very bottom of the page.
Will someone read that into the record?
Yes, please.
It reads as follows. I also vividly recall that Tau, at some stage during a visit to my home, drove off with my phone in his car as I inadvertently left it in his car when I got out of the car where I was talking to him. I intend endeavoring to analyze my cell phone records when it becomes available to establish the date this happened. The witness testified that this was unlikely because of the incoming and outgoing calls at that period, and those are demonstrated at number 3 on the records. Witness B, can you confirm this?
I confirm, Commissioners.
Commissioners, I hope we have done justice to the cross-referencing requested.
As I understood it, and I may, please correct me if I have forgotten part of yesterday's evidence, the witness's evidence yesterday was the stalking started from the 12th, the 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, and so we've just discussed the 12th. Is there any 13, 14, 15? I think I remember the 16th. What about the other dates?
Commissioner Baloyi, you are correct that she referenced multiple dates. So the first one was to confirm that that scouting happened with Mr. Molefe in his presence. And if you have regard to WA1 at page 44, witness A dealt with the scouting that happens on the 13th. And there it's those text messages, and it goes all the way until page 46. Where they even discuss the name of the company, and there's a response that it's Q-Tech and OK, sure. Then at page 48, you will see there, that's the correspondence with the individual called Lerato, where they were asking for car registration details and confirmation of the people involved. And then on page 49, you will see there the first entry is that Mr. Tau's phone connects to a tower 2 kilometers from Q-Tech in Vereeniging.
That was the evidence of witness A. All right, that's all I needed.
Does it cover all the dates, or are you still continuing, Ms. Bowie?
Witness A then also covered the 15th, and the evidence to support that is at page 50. And then the 16th as well. And evidence of that scouting it was those stills that we saw at page 52. And then the 17th, of course, was the date of the murder. Witness B, can you confirm that this was your evidence yesterday?
I confirm. Yes.
And Ms. Bowie, the few documents, in particular the one with the information on the incoming and outgoing calls and the originating base station, the originating suburb, and so on, we must give them exhibit names.
Certainly,
But
Chair.
at least that's far you've dealt with this one. So let's give this one an exhibit name.
Yes, we are at CJC 6 because CJC 5 is the bundle that has the kidnapping cases that are sitting with IPID. So the next in line, without putting it in that batch, would be CJC 6.
Yeah, I think we must have a running exhibit numbering. I remember when Ms. Hasim was leading General Kumalo, we started numbering and giving exhibit numbers. I think exhibit numbers for these should flow from this. It should not be per witness, but it should be a running list.
Chair, they do. So Ms. Hasim stopped at CJC 3. So CJC 4 would be the bail bundle. And because it has other items, it's 4.1 to 4.9, I think. And then CJC 5 is next, which has 3 documents within it. So it goes 5.1 to 5.3. So the next in line would be CJC 6.
6, oh, thank you. It's marked CJC 6 then. Thank you, Ms. Bowie.
And we describe it as what? Tracking and cell phone data schedule? What should we call it?
Commissioner Baloyi, to say Katiso Molefe, cell phone and tower information, tracking and tower information.
Thank you.
Chair, I wonder if the Transnet scheme will just be slotted in to your notes, or do you require this to also be handed up as an exhibit?
Or the one you read from?
Yesterday,
This.
It's not a self-standing document, as it were. It is just for ease of reference.
I think it may end up being unwieldy if we mark everything that comes up on screen, so perhaps not.
The only other one would be
When we saw this on screen yesterday, where was it coming from? That's the document. Was it not in the statement?
The description of the events
The
is
one
in the
tender
statement.
at the top, tender manipulation against the figure representing Mr. Molefe. Then below that, there's QTech, there's SK Group, there's Transnet. Is this not in the statement?
The description of the events in that form is in the statement, but for ease of presentation,
Okay.
we prepared it.
Okay, maybe let's give it an exhibit number as well then.
Chair, this would then be CJC 7,
And you describe it as?
infographic depicting Transnet scheme.
Before,
That
I was
was
going to, I'm trying to find in the because I see in the statement you do have exhibit numbers where, for example, I'm looking randomly at paragraph 44, where there's a reference to a copy of the initial report is attached as B2, right? So because this, which is in this infographic, is contained in the statement, I thought you could follow that B sequence.
Following on the B sequence as an annexure to the statement,
Yeah.
this would then be B10,
B10.
and we will amend the indexes accordingly for all of the files.
So we forget about CJC 7.
Yes.
Perhaps then you should do something to paragraph 26 of the statement, because that is where the scheme is referred to, so that whoever reads this document can cross-reference to paragraph 26 of the statement.
We will do so, Commissioner Khumalo. And then the last document being the WhatsApp extracts from Mr. Matlala's phone between him and General Shibiri.
Do these not appear somewhere already? And if they do, are they not marked?
Chair, they appear in testimony that has been given in camera, hence the reluctance to mark it from that record. But if we must do so, then we will do so. We will find the reference there.
Because it's here in front of us now, let's mark it here. Doesn't matter if it may be named twice, but for purposes of what we are doing now, let's mark it, let's call it something.
I propose then, Chair, that we mark it as part of the statement as annexure B11.
Yes, Ms. Bowen?
Ms. Boy, it was referred to, I think, in paragraph 39 of the statement. The witness said, after Ket Matlala's arrest, we looked at his phone and we were shocked to find that Shibiri had a relationship with Matlala, and there were WhatsApps and voicemails from December to May 2025, with the exception of April.
That is correct, Commissioner Khumalo. We'll cross-reference it in that way.
Then, Ms. Bawe, get the witness to confirm. She should have this in front of her, and let her confirm whether this is what she was referring to in paragraph 39 of the statement.
Witness B, can you turn to paragraph 31 of your statement?
Yes.
My apologies.
39.
Witness B, that's paragraph 39.
I think let's just clarify, what I was reading is not recorded in paragraph 39 itself. So when the witness was dealing with paragraph 39, she was asked a question, and in response to that, then she gave the evidence that I've just read out. So I made a note immediately after paragraph 39 because that's where she referred to these documents.
Yes, Commissioner Khumalo, you are correct. She wanted to make this note just as she finished dealing with General Shibiri. Witness B, can you confirm that the chats between Mr. Matlala and General Shibiri that we've now marked as B11 is what you were referring to when you concluded your testimony in relation to General Shibiri?
That's correct, Commissioners.
Commissioners, that concludes the cross-referencing exercises that we were meant to do.
Thank you, Ms. Bo, but don't you want to refer us to the ballistics report, the rectified report? You have given us something on that as well, a one-pager.
Commissioners, that was just to assist when reading, because it's often difficult to open both documents at the same time. I didn't propose that we include it as a annexure.
All right, no, thank you then, thank you. You may continue, Ms. Bowe.
Commissioners, we will resume at page 34. The witness's next topic is the involvement of crime intelligence and the PKTT. Witness B, in paragraph 93 and 94, you talk about a meeting that happens facilitated by General Mbuso Khumalo on the 4th of November. Can you take the commission through this?
On the 4th of November, we were summoned to Midrand to a meeting that General Mbuso Khumalo was part of, General Ali Kalakala was part of, Brigadier Mere was part of, General Kekana was part of, and Colonel Nduli was part of, as well as Colonel Mangnia was part of. Maybe to highlight Brigadier Mangnia and Colonel Mangnia and Brigadier Mere, who are the people that as of the 5th of September were in charge of the members that were giving us 24-hour protection for investigation and after hours at homes. And then General Kekana is overall control for those members, including these two brigadier and colonel that I've mentioned that were also responsible for our safety at the time. And then General Kalakala was the one in charge of this TRA and the measures thereof. And Colonel Nduli is the one who actually ran this threat assessment and find the findings thereof that was coming with recommendations. During this meeting, we were then introduced to everyone, and then we were explained as to the steps that were going to be taken as of then, of which subsequently we were taken to the safe house. Well, we didn't know that that was the start of us being admitted to the safe house, but however, when we get to the safe house, we explained to the general that we didn't bring any luggages because we didn't know that it's the day, even though we have been briefed in the past that this was going to happen soon, but we didn't know that was the day. Therefore, we were given a chance to go back home and get our luggages and came back.
Witness B, can you tell the Commission how this adjustment was to move from living at home under 24-hour protection to being admitted into the safe house?
It was like a beginning of the change to our lives, because as much as we thought it was difficult to be 24-hour guarded, you can't go to the restaurant, you can't go to the shops without someone following you and everything, and even at home you can't have a quality time with family and children without anyone like looking at you like a hawk. But now it was more difficult to stay here away from the family. It was difficult with the family around, but now to be taken away from the family, it was really, really difficult. It still is.
And what does this mean for your investigations?
For investigations, I think it was the best thing that could ever happen, because at this stage, at least as much as it disadvantaged you and everything, but where investigation is concerned, I think it was a better plan to be taken away, as we have already mentioned the encounters from all different spheres, even amongst our very own. So this move, I think it was the best in terms of the investigation.
Thank you, Witness B. At paragraph 95, you deal with then the arrival of members of the PKTT as well as your meetings with Lieutenant General Khumalo. Can you take the Commission through this?
After the arrival at the safe house, I think we stayed a few days. Shortly, Colonel Khumalo, General Khumalo, to say General Khumalo, of which I'll have to say the name just to differentiate between the two. I'm talking about now Dumsan Khumalo.
Yes.
Came to us and introduced. We have the introductory session between us and him, and he explained to us as of now what was going to happen. But maybe before I even go to the introduction with the general, there is also another part of the investigators or investigation team that joined us shortly after we were at the safe house. That would be the counter-intelligence. And then all of us, including them, then there was introduction between us and the general and the way forward, of which he highlighted us that we may be joined by another team that is going to assist us in this investigation, of which later on, not so many days passed, and then the team that is referred to as PKTT then joined the team. And the team came with different expertise that was going to really assist the investigation, because amongst the expertise that the PKTT brought, it was criminalist, expert, it was analyst, it was the tactical officers as well, of which, if I may have a comment while I'm there, their arrival made this investigation to to move a little bit faster, because most of the expertise that the investigation needs, like the investigation tools, now they were in-house. It was not like you're still going to apply, go somewhere, wait for days. If you need the expertise, then you will just get it from the house.
Thank you, Witness B. Commissioners, that covers...
I'm not sure, Witness B, sorry, Ms. Bowe. I'm not sure whether you counted all the various types of expertise. Maybe you did, but at paragraph 96, you describe this as a multidisciplinary approach with various technical capabilities built in, including ballistic experts, DNA experts, analysts, and tactical officers. Do you confirm that?
I do confirm, Commissioner. However, I'm willing to, instead of me saying DNA, I prefer to say criminalist expert rather.
Thank you. And what do you mean by that, criminalist expert?
It's the expertise from, instead of saying from local criminal record, because it's not at that level anymore, but it's at provincial. That's how now it's addressed rather.
Thank you.
Witness B, at paragraph 97, you talk about the arrival of Witness C. Can you tell the Commission about this?
Yes, Commissioners, on the 2nd of December, and then Witness C joined the team, and he was briefed also on the case of Swart.
Was he also from the PKTT or not?
He was, but he came on the 2nd, like alone.
Witness B, just to clarify, was he joining as part of those supporting in the PKTT or coming in as another investigator to join yourself and Witness A?
Maybe to clarify this, as I've said, the specialities of everybody from PKTT, let me say for him, he came from the investigating part of it, so he joined the investigation team.
Thank you, Witness B. You then talk about, at paragraph 98, the planned operations that were going to take place in the days that follow. Can you take the Commission through those?
Yes, Commissioners. On the arrival of Witness C, he was tasked more to focus on different dockets that were there at the time, of which the most focus, myself and Witness A, we focused on those matters, whereas he was busy with this one, of which we didn't brief each other daily about it because we were all busy in different taskings. That's why I would like to rather, as we go, stick to the one of Mr. Molefe's case, or should I say Mr. Swart's case, and leave this other tasking that was mainly dealt with by Witness C, because he's still gonna come and give a clear indication as to what was happening there. All I can comment on that is that I became aware that on the 6th we had different operation, including his. As to how it came about, what transpired, I would love to leave it to him to tell the commissioners, because he will be able to tell the story much better than I can do if I try to do now.
Thank you, Witness B. So then, looking at the two operations that yourself and Witness A were dealing with, can you tell the commissioners about those two operations, being the arrest of Mr. Lucky Molefe and the arrest of Mr. Katiso Molefe?
Yes, Commissioners. After now, because this was an ongoing investigation since the arrest of the Tabus, with the information that was at our disposal through investigation, at this point, we were ready now to discuss the docket and make an arrest on Mr. Molefe, on the Molefes, if I may put it like that, both of them. On the 5th, then, we obtained various warrants of arrest that we prepared to execute as soon as we received them, including Lucky's and Katiso's.
And the warrants you are referring to, were what types of warrants were these that you obtained on the 5th of December?
It was warrant of arrest.
You then deal with the events of the 6th of December, but first with further warrants that you wanted to obtain. Can you tell the commissioners about this?
Yes, on the 6th, that morning, we started very early with an intention to obtain search and seizures, a warrant of arrest for both operations that were intended. Therefore, we had to split because the jurisdictions were different. Witness B had to go to, Witness A, he had to go to Randburg to obtain such a warrant. I had to go to courts, of which it will be Rotterdam and Johannesburg, of which I'll speak on what happened to the journey of me obtaining the search and seizure warrant, of which I subsequently managed to get them on both courts. But with the warrants that I have prepared prior, the wording was not suitable for the magistrate to sign those ones. But fortunately, in both in both courts, I found the magistrates that were willing to sign the certain seizures. They went as far as starting the whole document afresh to suit the requirements in order for them to be able to assist me, of which I'm grateful for them, because they took their time starting afresh the whole document, and the willingness thereof that was there for them to sign it, hearing from the affidavit how important it was for us to obtain such. But however, for my colleague, it was never like that. Subsequently, his one was never signed.
And just to confirm, the warrant that wasn't signed was the search and seizure warrant for Mr. Katiso Molefe.
That's correct, Commissioner.
Thank you, Witness B. At paragraph 101...
So before you do that, Witness B, you say you went to different courts because the jurisdictions were different. Can you explain that further?
Yes. The information that was obtained already, it was the target that was targeted. He has a house in the jurisdiction of Roodepoort. However, the intention was to execute at the workplace in Joburg. So in case it was successful, we needed to be prepared with both.
Thank you.
Witness B, with reference to paragraph 101, can you tell the commissioners about the plan to arrest Lucky Molefe?
Okay. The plan to arrest Lucky Molefe, the plan was to simultaneously operate on both, while other team was at, so the execution was
Witness B?
Simultaneously. So.
Witness B, sorry about that. Was that a pause or a break in the connection? If you can just start afresh.
Okay, the plan was to execute this warrant simultaneously. Therefore, the team has to split into two. One team of which I was part of, we were intended to execute at Lucky Molefe's workplace in Joburg, and the other team was supposed to execute at Katiso Molefe's house. However, because of the relations, the intention was to do it simultaneously, avoiding information leaking.
And what happened with the team that you were a part of?
Okay, we were strategically placed ourselves nearby because we were working with the Transnet investigators that were supposed to confirm for us. We couldn't just march there only to find he's not there. The plan was for them to confirm that he was at work, and then we would have entered the premises and executed the warrant of arrest. But unfortunately, after some time waiting, it was confirmed that he was not at work at all. Then we had to withdraw now from that operation to join the other operation, of which it was at Katiso Molefe's house.
And at paragraph 103, you then deal with your arrival at the operation at Katiso Molefe's house and what you encountered. Can you take the commission through that?
Yes, as much as my team joined shortly after the accused was restrained, but we also encountered this interferences that was there, because we were already there by the time, where we saw the hawks, of which is DPCI, came in large numbers. And then we also saw an helicopter hovering in that house while we were there. So at the time, I was there, but I also learned that the team has an encounter with a person who later known to us as John Mokhatle, a JMPD officer. I know this because at the later stage we had to do some investigation, of which I was part, and I ended up visiting his commanders just to determine if he was there in what capacity. And I learned that he was there after he was released from his workplace because he was unwell. He was supposed to go home and rest, but we find him at the crime scene, fully operating, confronting officers that were at work.
Witness B, if we can just take a step back to paragraph 103.1, where you deal with the Hawks or DPCI officers. Were you part of the exchanges that happened there?
No. At this point, I was inside the house, but each and everything that was happening inside was reported to us inside. And
then in relation to the helicopter, you testified just now that you saw it hovering. Were you part of those who then later interview? My apologies, a step back. You say in your statement that you learned who operated the helicopter. Can you tell the commissioners who this was?
Yes, I was part of that team that went to him to obtain a statement, of which he became to be known to us as Inspector George Topolas.
And as part of obtaining a statement, did he explain his presence?
Yes, he did explain his presence. He said he was He went there because the help was sought by the DPCI. He mentioned that it was Captain Kruger that requested him to assist because there was something happening there at Molefe's house.
Thank you. And then you deal with the JMPD officer, and you say there that you spoke to his commanders.
Yes, I did. I did spoke to a superintendent there, and I also spoke to his immediate commander.
And my apologies, who are the superintendent and the immediate commanders?
I'll start by saying the immediate commander. That will be Sergeant Zwani. And I don't remember very well who is the superintendent.
And is Sergeant Zwane, sorry, I might have missed it. You say Sergeant Zwane is the immediate commander of George Raftopoulos?
No, of Johnny.
Oh, thank you.
I just can't remember now the surname of the superintendent, mainly because he referred me to the immediate commander, of which is the one who gave me a statement.
Commissioners, just to be of assistance, the Zwane is Raymond Simpiwe Zwane.
And where are you looking, Ms. Bowen?
Chair, this, I don't have the particular reference, but it's part of General Khumalo's statement. So we have the full names of the two supervisors. And the Zwane the witness is referring to is Raymond Simpiwe Zwane. And this is for the witness to confirm. The name that we have is Mohammed Hussein, who's the superintendent in JMPD K9 unit. Is that so, Witness B?
Oh yes, now I remember, because it was not my first encounter with this superintendent. He once helped me on my other investigation. He arrested some of my suspects. Yes, I can confirm it's him.
If I understood you correctly, Witness B, you say that you managed to get a statement regarding the arrival of the contingent, the DPCI contingent. Am I correct that you said so?
That also, during the course of our investigation, it was obtained, yes. But it was not obtained. I was not part of the team that obtained that statement, but Witness C is the one who obtained such statement. I was, from a part, referring from a statement from the part of JMPD, John Mkhatle, as immediate supervisor.
I assume that Witness C will testify as to the content of the statement I'm asking you about. But in one or two sentences, are you able to say what explanation was given for the DPCI descending at Mr. Molefe's house, if that explanation was given in the state?
Yes, Commissioner, as much as I would feel comfortable if Witness C is the one talking to this, but I also know that amongst the things that the DPCI explained why did they had to come there, it's because they got the reports that there were people that are pretending to be the hawks at Molefe's house. So they were there to verify that.
Pretending to be hawks, not SAPS members, specifically hawks?
Yes. So it was maybe that's how it was reported to them.
Thank you.
Sorry. Witness B, the Sergeant Zwane that you referred to, you've had the evidence leader give names Raymond Simpiwe. Do you confirm that that is the Zwane you're referring to, Sergeant Zwane you're referring to?
That's correct, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Just to cross-reference these statements, they are in General Khumalo's statement, and the statement from Mr. Kruger, Captain Kruger, is SDK 20 at page 188. The person interviewed from Hawks DPCI is Mokwena. I think it's a brigadier, I don't want to misrepresent, but it's LJ Mokwena, and that's SDK 21 at page 192. And the statement from Mr. Johnny Mokhatle himself is SDK 22 at page 195. Witness B, you explained that a statement was obtained from the officer, Mr. Mokhatle. What was his explanation for being at Mr. Molefe's residence?
Commissioners, his explanation, he said he was on duty, and also he was called by Katiso Molefe because there were suspicious cars, and then he had to come and check on them.
And you say at paragraph 103.4 that although he seemed transparent, he minimized the extent of his involvement. What do you mean by this?
At some point, he said he knows Katiso Molefe, and because he used to register cars for him, he I mean, like, he makes it look like there's nothing wrong about him leaving his post when he was supposed to go home because he's sick, and he go and operate somewhere else, and acting and telling us that he was on duty, whereas at the later stage when we investigate, we learn that he was not even on duty, was not supposed to be there. Then he further explained that he knows Molefe because he used to register cars for him. That's how, I mean, like, he minimized it, because for me, I wouldn't look like I know somebody, I register cars, and then I, in my capacity now driving a state car, I go into pretend to be doing official duties while I'm doing this on my personal level.
Right at the end of paragraph 103.3, you say he also ran the number plates of a car which was monitoring Mr. Katiso Molefe's house before the operation and reported to him that the car belonged to SAPS. Did you observe Mr. Mokhatle doing this? That is both the running of the number plates and also the making of a report to Mr. Katiso Molefe.
That is amongst the things, Commissioner, that he told us himself in his statement.
Thank you.
Witness B, in 103.2, where you mentioned the Chief Provincial Inspector, George Raftopoulos, Chief Provincial, is it Gauteng Province that you're referring to? Is he the Chief Provincial Inspector of Gauteng?
That is correct, Commissioner. It is Gauteng.
And this is SAPS?
Not SAPS.
Okay. It's Gauteng what? Government?
I don't know the actual wording there, but it's not under SAPS.
All right. Ms. Bowe, are you able to help?
Commissioner Baloyi, witness A testified that it is traffic police.
Thank you.
Chair, I see your mic is on, so, okay, thank you. Witness B, you sum up these occurrences and what you made of them at paragraph 104. Can you explain this to the commissioners?
Commissioners, with every scene that I've been involved in and with every person that I have arrested, this was really amazing to me. So much interference from various enforcement and agencies, not only SAPS. It made me wonder what was so special about this one suspect that was arrested on that day.
And with the knowledge that you have now, do you have any further comments about the involvement of all of these agencies?
With the knowledge that I have now, that I've been getting information from all spheres that this particular one is connected into the higher places with information that will be told that this person that you have touched, it's a general's person, so you can't touch this one. It now makes sense why, especially the DPCI, why they had to come in numbers like that, because they were instructed to come there by who? Because now I have an information that says this is a general's person, and it can only be a powerful person that can be able to pull up such. And it makes me wonder now if the PKTT was never part of this operation on that day. It was just myself and witness A. What would have happened to us on that day?
Witness B, in paragraph 103.4 of your statement, you say, although Officer Mokhatle seems transparent in his affidavit, he minimizes the extent of his involvement with Mr. Matlala. Did you mean Mr. Molefe there? Who is the Mr. Matlala
yes,
you are referring to?
Oh, yes, Commissioner, sorry, it's not Mr. Matlala, it's Mr. Molefe.
Witness B, you then at paragraph 105 deal with the manhunt or the operation that continued to search for Mr. Lucky Molefe. Can you explain what happened there?
Oh yes, we had an intense manhunt after we couldn't arrest him at his workplace, and then we went to all his known address. We couldn't find him. Fortunately, the information kept coming, and we learned that he was being hidden. There was a deliberate intention for us not to find him. At some point, we got hold of the vehicle that he was driving, and he was supposed to meet with his friend somewhere in Soweto. We proceeded there, but unfortunately, the members of the family, they actively informed him not to go anywhere near that car any longer because we were surveilling it, of which amongst the people that claim as witness C is going to deal with that, claim that they were kidnapped by us. You could hear from their phones actively telling this suspect to run away from us. and they even went as far as involving some other people other than them, that they were part of defeating these ends of justice, saying that they are willing to protect him. There was messages from the members of the Big Five that said we are willing to take the boy under our wing, make sure that the police, they don't get hold of him.
Was he ever arrested, just out of interest? Was Lucky Molefe ever arrested? Not on the day, but subsequently?
That's the thing, Commissioner. Up until today, we can't really get hold of him. And he just ran since the 6th of December. And maybe it's worth noting that it's not only him that is on the run. Even the person that we haven't even started pursuing, of which is Thapelo Molefe, the son of Katiso Molefe, is also on the run since then, together with Lucky Molefe.
Witness B, you say there's information that he's assisted to hide or on the run, including communication that by members of the Big Five, I think you say, that they are prepared to take him under their wing. Where is this information? Is it, maybe let me stop there. Where do you get this information from?
This information, Commissioner, as we were busy in the course of arresting, eventually the person that was supposed to meet with him confronted him. And then there was this conversation, that was this constant phone calls, because at the point, the people that we're talking about, that they were defeating these ends of justice, they were not aware now that we're having this guy, and every communication, every phone call that they were making to him, we were listening to. However, there is further WhatsApp voice notes, even though when we do more investigation, we got the clarity that those people that are referred to as Abobaba in that voice recording, it's actually the Big Five. But that is an explanation. But from the voice note itself, if it can be made available to the commission, you will hear that word saying Abobaba, they're saying they can take this boy under their wing, as long as the police, they can't get hold of him.
So what you say in your evidence, I understand you, and am I correct to understand you? Maybe let me restart. Am I correct to understand you to be saying that Mr. Lucky Molefe, as he is on the run, also enjoys the protection, or maybe enjoying the protection of the cartel that we have been told is called the Big Five?
That's very correct. That's what I'm trying to say, Commissioner.
And these recordings that you are referring to, you have listened to them, you've heard them, those communications?
Yes.
Thank you.
And just before you move to the next topic, in paragraph 105 of the statement, you say after Katiso Molefe's arrest, we carried out a manhunt for Mr. Lucky Molefe until the early hours of 9 December. But that is 3 days later. Did you mean 7 December 2024? Did the manhunt go on for 3 days?
Yes, Commissioner, we didn't sleep. Shortly after, if we slept only 2 hours and we continued. If we slept, the most we slept 3 hours and we continued until we had to come and prepare ourselves that early morning for the court.
Commissioners, we do have that recording, and we can line it up to play it after the tea adjournment so that we can set it up. I'm not proposing we break, just that we can do so if the Commission would want to hear that recording, that voice note rather. Witness B, your next topic is the additional causes of concern, and in particular, you deal with a call that Witness A received from General Shibiri. Can you tell the Commission about this?
Yes, Commissioners. On this day, it was on the 16th, and I was together with Witness A, and then he received a WhatsApp call, of which I know that he already spoke much about this call in detail, but I would like to only go in detail on what I found it concerning, mostly for me. Well, in the beginning, it was more like ice-breaking because they were talking about the health issues, and then it went where now I picked interest when he said he was invited to a birthday party of General Sibiya, and he declined because of his health condition, but mostly other than health condition, he didn't want to go there because he knew that General Sibiya would expect a feedback on the case of Swart, and he also said he knew that that was not to maybe brief the National Commissioner, but it was to brief the side of the other side. Let me just explain. It was said it was for the other side, of which it was Commissioner.
And Witness B, that you were able to hear this, had Witness A put General Shibiri on speaker?
Yes, he did put him on the speaker because now with everything that we have encountered if we had the call from the people that we were not so sure what to think of. We were sharing, like, other than giving each other a brief, we would want to share the call so one can hear from horse's mouth what is said.
Thank you. And Ms. Poe, I see that there's an issue with the numbering here. It says the main number is 106, and then instead of 106.1 and 106.2, you have 80.1 and 80.2. Have you corrected it? We have corrected it on ours.
Chair, I am embarrassed to say that I hadn't corrected it on mine, but we'll duly make those corrections.
Thank you.
Witness B, you go on to talk about the other parts of the phone conversation. Do you want to touch on those? I would really actually like not to go into those ones because they already are out there by the witness A.
Perhaps maybe just cover the last sentence in 106.2 and what your thoughts were at the time. Witness B, can you hear me?
Witness B, so it's the last sentence of that subparagraph where you start with Major General Shibiri's disclosures appeared. So what you made of those disclosures?
Perhaps before you do that, I think for context, the witness should do the whole paragraph, because that which Commissioner Khumalo refers to is the conclusion based on the first part of the paragraph. And if it stands alone, it doesn't make sense.
Okay, the challenge we have, as Chair has correctly pointed out, the witness struggles with reading. So you may read it into the record, and the reason why I wanted the witness to go there is she's expressing her own view as opposed to witness A's view. So I wanted her to touch on her view, having had this conversation. Witness B, I hope you heard that.
I think it may be a nuance, but perhaps an important one, to suggest that she has difficulty reading, may have some negative connotations. It's more a problem of eyesight, as I understood it yesterday.
Yes, Chair. It's a method. She just has to put the documents quite close to her eyes in order to be able to read it clearly. And that I'm sure you've picked up that whenever we've asked her to read something, there will be silence for a while, and that's just because she has to adjust the papers.
Perhaps you should do what I think it was Commissioner Baloyi who said you should read this into the record, or was it Commissioner Khumalo? I'm not sure now.
Just the first part, or the whole paragraph? The whole paragraph.
Yeah, only because in that last paragraph that Commissioner Khumalo correctly refers to, that we should hear something about it, that speaks about disclosures, but the disclosures are in their first sentence. So you have to say what are the disclosures about which she then expresses an opinion.
Yes, and it reads as follows. Major General Shibiri further informed Witness A that Molefe is part of a group of 5 individuals with interest in mining in the Northwest Province. Amongst these associates is a person known as Zay, a Zulu individual residing in Sandton who maintains friendships with Julius Malema, who is close to Lieutenant General Sibiya. Major General Shibiri's disclosures appeared intended to underscore the magnitude and complexity of the case, as well as the significant status of persons of interest, while simultaneously distancing himself from any involvement. Witness B, can you confirm this? And if you still do, comment on this paragraph.
Commissioners, yes, I can confirm this. And the reason why I felt this way is because seemingly every time there's an encounter between us and him, he keeps dropping names that carries weight. And for me, it looks like it's a sort of trying to intimidate you in a way, to say, look at how powerful the people are having interest in this.
Thank you, Witness B. It is 1 minute before tea, Chair, and we are about to move on to a new topic. So is this an opportune time to take the tea break?
Let us adjourn and resume at 11:15.
Commissioners, when we were dealing with the search for Lucky Molefe, the witness testified about the assistance that Mr. Molefe was receiving, and in particular, a voice note where the family talked about his protection. And so we do have the recording, two recordings, but prior to playing them, I just want the witness to confirm where these recordings come from. Witness B, can you explain where these recordings come from and how they were obtained?
Yes, Commissioners. During the quest of finding Mr. Lucky Molefe, we had encounters with the characters by the name of Lebo Molefe, of which during interviewing he voluntarily gave his phone for investigation. That's where one of the recording comes from. Another one, it's from the partner of Katiso Molefe, that she also voluntarily gave for further investigation. Those two recordings, they come from those two phones.
When you say voluntarily, do you mean you asked for them and then the two people you mentioned voluntarily handed their phones over?
Yes, let me say from the partner, we asked for it and she gave it, and then she said she does not have anything to hide, therefore we can have a phone and search it. And then with Lebo, she's the one who said, I don't know where like is. You can take even my phone and check. You won't find anything because I have nothing to hide.
Thank you, Witness B. And these, what's the nature of the audios?
It is a WhatsApp voice notes.
Commissioners, we will play the two voice notes.
Hi, people. Go forward this voice note to happen. Go today aska lika aba anywhere nje Soweto nje Joburg ne liko yena kwa la ba ka banka karabelo ba mtrapa gore o a gone gore atle aska ba alika ba story sa anything because today they are so under pressure mo lo reng ba tla ba fella today by tonight gore ba tsame ba khoteka go sana ena se le jwalo ilo senya nne ba sa bantse le reng sharp so ba malume ba re aska ba alika ba around then let's happen re buleleng please do tsapo ka kopa dula bule mo leng o ka paka koloi and then just chill wherever you are ska a ke se bikereng kopa ska ba atomela ka kopa ona go hai re thuse for today and then I'll keep you updated late ke tla romela voice note tengwe hape go jotsa go tsala and ska stress ba busy ka yona then le eng hape. Yeah, close late today. Okay, what's the update? But so far, we're getting good results because we're open mama by Lucas. So once we fly, we look at the
Before we proceed with the next one, Witness B, can you identify who was speaking in this voice note?
Yes, commissioners, that will be a label.
And there is a transcript of this, but for purpose of the record, can you briefly describe to the commissioners what was said?
It was basically a label warning Lucky not to, or maybe I should also make that clear when I keep saying Lucky, but she says Tshepo. During the course of investigation, we learned that at home they called him a Tshepo. And then she was actually warning him not to come closer to his residence or anywhere, even because we were busy. Hence, I've said that from the arrest of Molefe, we never arrested. We were actively looking for him. So she's heard saying that. Hence, the following day we were supposed to go to court. She describes us as desperate to arrest him before we do that. Therefore, he mustn't really go anywhere near to the addresses known to us. Even the girlfriend, when she says Carabello is known to be like his girlfriend. Even if we can trap her to make Lucky to come, she mustn't even listen to her because it will be us trying to trap him.
And just for completeness, the evidence that he is known, his other name is Tepo, can be found at CJC 4.9, which is part of the bail appeal, the second bail appeal, at page 400. It continues on to 401. It's line 24, and it says, as will appear later, one of her children, namely Tshepo Lucky Molefe, is especially mentioned as a suspect in the Vereeniging murder charge. My apologies.
Sorry, you said 401?
400 and 401, the very paragraph at the bottom, yes. My apologies, and line 10. Also at page 401, line 10, you'll see there it says Tshepo is referred to as Lucky Molefe, and as that is the name he is referred to by the state in the pending Vereeniging proceedings. Commissioners will now play the second recording.
Perhaps before you do that, you've made mention of a transcript. You say there's a transcript of this first voice note. Will you be handing it in as evidence? And if you are, then we do need to identify it. You don't have to present it now, but it has to be identified for purposes of the record. The same with the WhatsApp note.
Yes, Commissioner Baloyi, we initially hadn't anticipated to play it, so we will print the transcript and mark it. Just for our purposes, I think we still need to prepare a transcript for the second one, but for the purpose of the first one, we are at, on the exhibits side, we are at CJC 7, 8. Yes. No.
Is it not 7, Advocate
It is
Boyd?
7.
Because the other ones, we ended up making them part of the annexures to the statement. So CJC 6 would be the Katiso Molefe tracking and tower info.
That is indeed so.
Yeah. I want to make a different suggestion because we are moving between the CJC and the B and the Bs coming out of the statement. We've been doing Bs in the statement, something that's introduced for the first time, arising from the evidence. So instead of CJC, perhaps we should do B7, I think?
It would be B12.
Is it B12?
Yes.
And maybe you can then do B12-1, being the voice note itself, and then its transcript being B12-2.
We will do
And
so,
then follow
and
the same
similarly for the
sequence to the
second.
next message.
You're indebted.
Lebo, ngicela uhambe utshela uTshepo ukuthi he must stay far away from Soweto and angayi emsebenzini until further notice. Akumelanga atholakale anyway. Amafoni wakhe mawahlale off. Everything that has got to do naye ayingatholakali until further notice. Ilawyer isho kanjalo and nabo bhuti basho kanjalo bathi nje makanyamalale angatholakali if anendawo yokuhlala bazomorganizela indawo yokuhlala ukuthi hamba uhlala somewhere for a while. So please ngicela udlulise leyo message utshela uTshepo. If mhlambe naye uyakwazi ucommunicate naye ngoThapelo amtshele uThapelo but uThapelo ngiyacommunicate naye ngimtshela uThapelo udlalela safe ngithe uThapelo asusa imoto akhiphe itracker kwi-RS4 kumele iphume itracker i-RS4 because bayayifuna so uBobby uzothumela ulehasi bahambe bayokhipha itracker lapha na kwi-RS4 ngoba lamaphoyisa manje afuna i-RS4 so please ngicela umtshele ngoba ngithena uThapelo makafuna ukuye mall akafaki ikepisi or afaki isport afaka amazaza aza so uThebo yena makafuna ukudakwa umtshele ukuthi ngithi ngicela athenga ibhodlela lakhe ahlale endlini azihlalele please until further notice just do that lebo angazi ukuthi izorisha kanjani uThebo ngoba angazi akangifoneli if uyathola ichance ukuthi angifonele nenye number please let him do that please. Okay.
Witness B, can you confirm who is speaking in this voice note?
Yes, Commissioners, that will be Katiso Molefe's partner.
And the name?
The name is Fundiso.
And who is she sending the voice note to? Because
She's sending, sorry, Commissioner.
I was saying obviously it's not directly to Mr. Lucky Molefe.
Yes, Commissioner, it was sent to Lebu, Lucky Molefe's sister.
Do you want to do, with this one as well, Witness B, can you just state for the record what what Mr. Molefe's partner is saying?
In short, Commissioners, she was saying that Lebu must tell Lucky to hide wherever he is. He mustn't even go out when he needs to go have some drink. He must have a bottle and have it in the house, and then he must hide the vehicle. In my testimony, I once said we were monitoring the vehicle because we were told that he was driving. That's the vehicle that is being talked about, the RS4. That it must the tracker on it must be taken away so that we won't find it. And there's the name of people there. She says they're going to do that. And she's also speaking about Tabelo that I have touched on earlier on also in my testimony, that he since also has been on the run, that he was given advice as to how he must disguise when he wants to go to the mall or so. And then he further said there is I said Abu Baba, but now when I listen refreshingly now to the voice note, it refers to Abu Boot, that we're willing to take him under their wing in order for the police not to arrest him.
And Witness B, who do you understand Abu Booty to be?
Hence, I've mentioned that now that I've done investigation on this Abu Booty and Abu Mang Mang in the previous voice note, they only referred to the Big Five.
The previous voice note said Abu Malume, I think.
Yes. There was Abu Malume, Commissioner, and there's a part where it says Abu Mang Mang.
And Abu Malume means?
Abu Malume.
Yes.
Abu Malume, it refers to uncles, but in this context, because the actual uncle was already arrested, it's the associates of the uncle.
And Nabo Puti, what would that mean?
Abu Puti, from my understanding now after investigation, at that point I didn't know who's Abu Puti. I thought it's the brothers. I couldn't understand whose brothers, but after the recovery from investigation, I learned that it's the Big 5.
Thank you.
Thank you, Witness B. Commissioners, we will then return back to where we were, and that is Mr. Molefe's bail, which is, my apologies.
The second voice note and transcript, what do we label them? B12.4, B12.5?
B12.2.
No, we did B12.1 and B12.2.
This is B13.1 and B13.2.
Thank you. And on that, Ms. Bowe, just make a note, maybe make a mental note, because it occurs to me now that the recordings of yesterday, General Nkwashu, for example, we didn't give it a name, and I think it's going to get lost in the record.
Certainly,
make a note to give it a name at some point.
Perhaps let's do so now because we have a running list. Those were 2 phone call conversations. 14. If we will also produce the transcript, so it will be 14 and 15, 1 and 2 for each. Thank you, Commissioners. Witness B, if we can then go to paragraph 107, where you deal with Mr. Molefe's initial bail application. You start there with the first appearance of Mr. Molefe at paragraph 108. Can you tell the Commission about this?
Yes, Commissioners. This one, it's got too much date detail. I'll request this one to be read on record, and then I'll have comments where the comments are needed.
Chair, can I read it into the record as requested by the witness?
Please do.
At paragraph 107, as noted above, Mr. Molefe was arrested on 6 December 2024. Paragraph 108, Mr. Molefe appeared at the Vereeniging Magistrates Court for a first appearance on Monday, 9 December 2024. The matter was postponed to 13 December 2024 for a formal bail application. On 13 December 2024, Mr. Molefe abandoned the bail application ostensibly on the basis that the legal team was still gathering some information. The matter was then postponed to 21 January 2025 for formal bail application.
Perhaps at this point the witness should confirm.
Witness B, can you confirm these 2 paragraphs?
Yes, they are correctly read to the record.
And do you have any comments in relation to these 2 paragraphs?
No, I don't have comments. It's the occurrence or the events that happened thereof.
Okay. Paragraph 109. On 21 January 2025, the matter was heard and Mr. Molefe's legal representatives sought a postponement to 20 February 2025 to deal with the state's case. The postponement was granted. On 20 February 2025, the state and defense exchanged their affidavits. Thereafter, the defense informed the court that they are not continuing with bail and requested the matter to be postponed once more to 24 February 2025 due to the fact that there were facts that they were not aware of, and as a result, they wanted to amend their affidavit. That was prompted by the fact that the accused had not disclosed his previous conviction on his affidavit, and after realizing that the state is aware of the United Kingdom conviction, he wanted to address this. Witness B, can you confirm the contents of this paragraph?
Yes, I confirm, Commissioners.
And do you want to comment on this paragraph?
I actually do want to comment, even though it's clearly stated on the statement. But what I want to say is, it's to me it looks like the accused was not honest. Was not honest with court because he only request for postponement to rectify something that he intended to conceal because he thought because it's from UK we may not be able to investigate and discover. Only to find that when he realized that we have discovered, now he wants to rectify, of which it's unfair. Shouldn't he be given a chance to have a glimpse of what the state had? It would have been a crime because I understand failing to disclose it constitutes a crime.
Witness B, was it you who discovered the previous conviction in the UK? I understand that you were the investigating officer in this case.
Yes, through investigation and through Interpol and that's how we discovered that he actually had a previous conviction.
Thank you, Witness B. I'll continue to read paragraph 110. I pause to mention that the previous conviction mentioned is of a serious nature. On 24 October 2004, Mr. Molefe was arrested in the United Kingdom and charged with count 1, possession of Class B drugs, count 2, possession of controlled drugs, cannabis, count 3, possession of prohibited weapon, self-loading smooth-bore gun, and count 4, possession of prohibited weapon, self-loading smooth-bore gun. Witness B, can you confirm?
Yes, I confirm, Commissioners.
And do you have a comment on this paragraph?
No, I don't have. I'm satisfied the way it's read to the record.
Paragraph 111, Mr. Molefe was convicted and sentenced to 57 months imprisonment for count 1. When arrested in the United Kingdom, he gave the name as Libitsa David Teboho with date of birth 18/08/1964. This was totally different than the name and date of birth that he is registered under in South Africa. Witness B, can you confirm the contents of this paragraph?
Yes, I can confirm this paragraph, and I still see another dishonest from the accused because he misrepresented himself in UK and using a totally different identity that is not his. And the question is, shouldn't he be arrested at that time with this kind of identity when we were going to know about his capability to use a fraudulent document?
Regarding the order, regarding the order in which the names appear, which one is the surname? The names here start with Libitsa.
Supposedly, it's supposed to be the surname, Libitsa, and then the names it's David and Teboho.
I apologize for my Nguni pronunciation of Libitsa. Also, the names are Teboho, David, Libitsa.
That's correct, Commissioner.
Yes, Ms. Bowen.
At paragraph 112, on 24 February 2025, Mr. Molefe's affidavit was ready, and the state requested a postponement to 5 March 2025 to answer the additional issues raised in Mr. Molefe's amended papers. The matter was adjourned to the 5th of March 2025 for a further bail hearing. Witness B, can you confirm this?
Yes, Commissioner, that's correct.
And do you have a comment?
No, I don't have any comment on this one.
At paragraph 113, on 5 March 2025, the state replied to the defense affidavit and the court postponed the matter to 2 April 2025. At this appearance, our protectors noted a Ford Raptor with one missing number plate. The car was driven by Mr. Katiso Molefe's girlfriend. Because of the missing number plate, the registration was checked and confirmed to be under Brigadier Nkwashu. Witness B, can you confirm this paragraph and give comment if you have?
No, I can confirm this is what happened, and that's what I'm willing to say to the commissioners. I have no further comments.
At paragraph 114, on 2 April 2025, the matter was heard and Mr. Molefe was denied bail. The presiding officer postponed the matter to 11 to 22 August 2025 for trial. He further informed all parties that the case will be heard at Palm Ridge High Court. Special Prosecutor Katiso of Vereeniging Magistrate Court handed the docket to Advocate J.J. Jacobs of Gauteng High Court in Pretoria, who later handed it to his colleague, Advocate Mashile. Witness B, can you confirm this paragraph and provide commentary if you have any?
I confirm, Commissioners, though I would like to correct on record the SPP, it's a senior public prosecutor.
Can we just go back, Witness B, to paragraph 113? You say there the Ford Raptor was driven by Mr. Katiso Molefe's girlfriend. Is it the same Fundiswa that we heard about in the WhatsApp voice note?
That's correct, Commissioners.
And then when you say the registration plate was checked and confirmed to be under Brigadier Nkwashu, do you mean it is the owner of the vehicle is Brigadier Nkwashu?
That's correct, Commissioners.
And was that a private vehicle or a state vehicle? Can you just clarify that?
That will be a private vehicle.
Thank you.
And Witness B, is there a record which confirms that the vehicle, in fact, is Brigadier Nkwashu's vehicle? And can the Commission be provided with a copy of that?
Yes, Commissioners, that can be made available.
Thank you. Ms. Bowe, you'll arrange for that.
Thank you, Commissioner Baloyi. Witness B, at paragraph 115, you then deal with a bail appeal that was made by Mr. Molefe. Can you take the commissioners through this?
Yes, I can, even though I would appreciate my evidence leaders to continue reading these ones, because these were the occurrence events throughout the bail proceedings from the magistrate up to the appeal.
Chair, okay. At paragraph 115, Mr. Molefe then filed an appeal to the High Court of the decision not to grant him bail. Heads of arguments were submitted by both the state and defense on the 6th of June 2025. Thereafter, a court hearing was communicated to be on 27 June 2025. On the 24th of June 2025, we had a consultation with Advocate Mashile of the DPP's office, Pretoria, to brief him. Advocate Mashile basically said that he does not think it was necessary as the heads of argument have been filed. Witness B, can you confirm this paragraph and provide any comment?
Yes, I confirm. The one thing that I can also add on this one is that by the time we visit Mr. or maybe Advocate Mashile. It was not for the first time. We first met him when we were submitting dockets to him to acclimatize himself with the matter because he was new in the matter.
Thank you, Witness B. At paragraph 116, on June 2025, the matter was heard at Gauteng North High Court, Pretoria. The presiding officer was acting Deputy Judge President Ledwaba. During the hearing, I was very uncomfortable with what was transpiring. In particular, it felt to me that the judge had already predetermined the matter. Although this is not uncommon, it seemed he was also intent on giving Mr. Molefe, who was accused of very serious offences, lenient bail conditions. In particular, two exchanges are relevant. Before I deal with subparagraph Witness B, can you confirm this paragraph?
Yes, I confirm, Commissioners.
With this correction, perhaps, Witness B, it's acting Judge President, not acting Deputy.
Noted, Commissioner, will be rectifying that.
At paragraph 116.1, in one of the exchanges related to the conditions related to Mr. Molefe's movement, Mr. Molefe's lawyer asked for movement within the Gauteng province or even house arrest. The judge of his own accord inquired whether that would not be too restrictive as Mr. Molefe had businesses in other provinces. Mr. Molefe's lawyer responded that she does a number of these matters where there are business-related reasons for travel. These would be communicated and written permission of the investigating officer would be sought, which cannot unreasonably be withheld. The judge then raised the issue of the child and girlfriend who live in KZN, to which Mr. Molefe's lawyer responded that they can travel. Despite Mr. Molefe's lawyer's acceptance of this well-established condition, the judge made a comment that bail should not be a punishment. In the end, the bail condition granted was basically that Mr. Molefe can leave after informing the IO, and the IO should not object unless there is a valid reason. Witness B, can you confirm this paragraph?
Yes, Commissioners, I can confirm this one. And maybe to have some comments on this one.
Yes, Witness B, you can continue.
My main concerns in what the judge expressed there is to say if this would not be too restrictive. I felt like he was already showing the signs of lenient towards the accused, because the accused was the one applying and he already placed on record what he's willing to take. But the judge is the one who feels it's too restrictive. I felt like the judge is having too much lenient towards the accused, and that's where I already knew that he was going to be granted bail already.
Thank you, Witness B. Commissioners.
Can we take an adjournment, please? Ms. Powe and Witness B, before we continue, let me just make this directive. No TV cameras must show any of our screens, and by our screens I include those of the evidence leaders. I make this directive because it so happens that one of the screens was shown. I trust that there will be strict compliance with that directive.
My apologies, Commissioners. The witness is not online.
But attempts are being made to reconnect. Let's
Yes.
not adjourn, let's wait.
Yes, Chair.
Are we close?
Witness B, can you confirm that you can hear us?
Yes, Commissioners, I can hear you.
Commissioners, just before we continue, just to make a note that earlier we were requested to obtain the details regarding the confirmations made related to Brigadier Nkwashu's car at Para 113. We have obtained still images of the car and the registration details. We propose to mark them as B16.1 and 16.2.
Are you handing those up?
Chair, unfortunately, we are yet to print them, and we will make sure that they are added to your files.
Thank you.
In your handling of that, Ms. Powe, we will need the witness to confirm that that is the vehicle that she's referring to as driven by Mr. Molefe's girlfriend on the day, and that it is on that day.
Commissioner Balo, we can do one of two things. We can either flight for her confirmation. Alternatively, over the lunch adjournment, we can print and then also email to her to mark accordingly and then do the confirmation then.
I thought we would be done for lunch, Ms. Powe. Isn't there a way that...
We will coordinate with the team to get somebody to print them, and then we'll deal
Not
with
rushing you and you leave. If it's not practical, so be it. But if it is practical, please.
Certainly, Chair. Chair, we were dealing with paragraph 116.1, and the witness had confirmed and given some commentary in relation to that paragraph. Just for completeness, the portions of the transcript that she's referring to is CJC 4.5, being the bail appeal transcript, and it appears at page 320, line 22, until page 323, line 5. Paragraph 116.2. In an exchange about reporting to the police station, despite this being a common bail condition, particularly in serious offences, Mr. Molefe's lawyer indicated his willingness to accept this condition. It was the judge who expressed the view that it would be a burden on Mr. Molefe to report to the station because he'd find that the investigating officer is not there. Mr. Molefe's lawyer in turn agreed, but ultimately said this would keep the IOs happy. Witness B, can you confirm this paragraph and provide any commentary?
Yes, Commissioners, I confirm this paragraph, and I just have one or two comments on this one, that when the judge said it will be a burden on Mr. Molefe, I felt all the pain that came with the burden, given the fact that he was proposing that he wouldn't mind to do it, but the judge is the one who felt it will be a burden. It was an agony for me to sit in that court now listening to all this, because I already knew the verdict while sitting there. So to sit there further, it was really, really a pain to me. I even went out, made a phone call to my commanders to say, can I please withdraw? I can't sit here any longer, because it was a pain. But they said, feel all the pain that they would feel. We need a feedback.
Thank you, Witness B. Commissioners, the exchange Witness B is referring to can be found at CJC 4.5, and that is at page 323, line 20, until page 324 at line 8. Paragraph 116.3. The judge took the view that Mr. Molefe had been candid about his past conviction when he had in fact not. As set out above, he only addressed his previous drug-related conviction and the fact that he was traveling with fake papers when he saw the state's opposing papers in his bail application in the magistrate court. The judge accepted the version that Mr. Molefe made the disclosure to his previous representative. Moreover, from the interaction, it was clear to me that the judge did not have an interest in the conviction because it was 20 years old and it thus carried little weight. Witness B, can you confirm this paragraph and provide commentary, if any?
I'm happy with the way it has been read on record. I have no further comment.
Commissioners, and reference to this interaction is at CJC 4.5, page 331, line 11, until 332, line 11. Paragraph 117. Nevertheless, Mr. Molefe was granted bail of 100,000 rand with conditions that are questionable. In particular, he was ordered that 2.1, he should report to the nearest police station twice per week on a Monday and a Thursday. 2.2, he should be in the province of Gauteng and can only leave Gauteng province after informing the investigating officer in writing where he would be going, and the investigating officer would not object unless there is a valid reason for him or her to object. 3.2, the applicant should interfere or communicate with the state witness mentioned in the indictment.
The last one is 2.3 instead of 3.2.
Chair, I'm going to, expose my numerical deficiency. My ability to keep the numbers straight is questionable. I apologize. Witness B, can you confirm the contents of this paragraph and comment if you have any?
I confirm the paragraph and the concerns thereof of informing the IO, and the IO can never object. That was my concerns there. And then on 3.3, it's when it said the applicant should interfere. I was having a serious concern given the fact that danger to those witnesses.
But Witness A, was that one not a patent? Witness B, I'm very sorry. But was that not a patent mistake, or was that not clearly a mistake? And as I understand from the testimony of Witness A, it was corrected soon after the order had been made. It was just a mistake of leaving out not. The applicant should not interfere or communicate.
Commissioners, yes, it was a mistake, but at that point, because it was only rectified after we pointed it out. So before we pointed it out and it was corrected, it was a concern.
Paragraph 118. We were not happy with the order granted by the presiding officer, in particular para 2.2 and 2.3, and raised our dissatisfaction with Advocate Mashile on the same day. We also indicated that the judgment should be appealed. We found the decision of DJP Ledwaba as questionable, particularly in relation to granting him bail and imposing conditions that would allow Molefe to travel on mere notice and interfere with witnesses. Witness B, can you confirm this paragraph and comment on it?
Yes, I confirm, and there's no comment further than that.
Paragraph 119, Advocate Mashile later approached the DJP questioning the condition 2.3 in particular. This resulted in an amendment to the order with an inclusion of the word not in paragraph 2.3. This was deemed a typographical error. Witness B, can you confirm this paragraph and comment if you have any?
I confirm, and there's no further comments. I'm happy the way it's read into the record. That's the true reflection of what happened and how we felt.
Paragraph 120. A letter was written to the NPA to read, review, and appeal the judgment granted by ADJP Ledwaba on 3 August 2025. The NPA responded on 5 August 2025, indicating that the request will be considered once the judgment is transcribed. The NPA added that the state's right to appeal is limited to an appeal on a question of law, not on facts. Both letters are attached as B8 and B9. Witness B, can you confirm this paragraph and comment if you have any?
Yes, Commissioners, I confirm, no further comments.
Commissioners, the two letters are B8 and B9, and they can be found in the annexures bundle at pages 33 to 44, and the response from the NPA at page 45. Witness B, we have come to the end of that section, and the next section in your statement is, and you deal with an invitation from an inmate. At paragraph 121, you note that following the arrest of Mr. Molefe, you were contacted by an inmate. Can you take the commission through what happened there?
Yes, Commissioners, after the arrest of Mr. Molefe, I was contacted by an inmate in a prison where he was incarcerated. He invited me to come see him because he had some information that he needed to share with me. What I would note about this person, he constantly called me until I felt the need to go and see him. And then when we visited him, he informed us that he was once incarcerated with Tau at the same prison where Mr. Molefe was at the time, of which is Groenpunt prison. And then he informed me that he was told by Tau that there was a plan or a plot to eliminate the investigating officers that are investigating this case. And he also told this he told this inmate that he was arrested for unaliving a certain white man in some certain firm in Vereeniging. And then he further said a lot of things about how he first shared some sort of phone numbers of the people that were in a plot to eliminate these IOs, of which on a further investigation, we also discovered that the name that he mentioned by the name of Mozi, they actually indeed match with the cell phone numbers that he provided. He further provided as another phone numbers that he said they belong to a person known by Manana to him, but he said it's Tau's daughter, of which there also was confirmed through investigation to be true. And then he further told us
Witness B?
The price that was going to be paid for the elimination of the IOs, it was 350,000 rand. And he said the 50,000, it's already been paid for preparations. He further told us that
Sorry, Witness B. Witness B, I don't quite follow the part about 50,000 rand having been paid for preparations. Can you please explain that?
Commissioners, that's all he has told us, because on further questioning, he said he was supposed to be the one helping also to make this plan happen.
Witness B, can we take a step back and let's start at paragraph 121. You describe Mr. Tau's role and how he was able to the inmate's role and how the inmate was able to get too close or develop a relationship with Mr. Tau. Can you explain that?
At prison, it's the maximum prison. Normally, there is no awaiting trials in the prison. So therefore, when we make arrangement for awaiting trials that are high profiles to be kept in the prison, they are kept alone in the certain section of which Mr. Inmate was having an access to him because he would be cleaning, serving food to him. That's how they ended up developing a closeness and they shared things.
Witness B, this inmate, is it someone that before this conversation on the 19th of December, is it someone that you have spoken to before or that you have dealt with before?
Commissioner, no. It was for the first time and I was shocked. As part of my investigation, I had to ask, where did you get my numbers? And why only now you're contacting me? Because Tau is no longer even in this prison. Now that Molefe is here, it's only now that you start telling me things that is telling me you heard from Tau, but Tau is no longer here.
And did he say where he got your number from?
He said the person who arranged my numbers, it was Tau's daughter.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Baloyi. Witness B, you then speak at paragraph 121.1.2 about the associate known as Muzi, who would assist in arranging the hitman. You mentioned that you were given phone numbers and this was confirmed. Is that your evidence?
Yes, Commissioners.
Further, that the other number given was the daughter, Manana, and there too the number was confirmed.
That's correct, Commissioners.
At paragraph 121.1.3, you deal with the fact that the individual known as Muzi was tasked to facilitate your identification. Can you tell the commissioners about this?
Commissioners, this information, when it came to us through this inmates, we actually could relate because the very same person is the one that I said in my earlier testimony would make a point that he comes closer to us. And I suspected that was a way of identifying us.
You go further to say that Muzi confirmed your identity at a subsequent court date. Do you want to explain that?
I mean, hence I'm saying on all these appearances, hence I've indicated just now that he's the person who will make a point. When we stand outside the court, he will come stand next close to us, and we view that as him identifying us, but we didn't know to who, because we didn't know who the rest of the people at courts are.
And at paragraph 121.1.4, you deal with the fact that the inmate told you that even witness A should be eliminated. Do you want to explain that?
Yes, in actual fact, he told us that the people that were targeted, it's myself and witness A.
And then in the same paragraph, you note that the inmate informed you that he was offered 50,000. Can you explain what that was for? Or did he explain what that was for?
Yes, Commissioners, that's when we said the 50,000 has already been paid for preparations. According to him, its preparations is to get a vehicle, is to get firearms.
Witness B, at paragraph 121.1.5, you note there that following Mr. Tau's release, communication between Mr. Tau and Mr. Buthelezi contact continues on a daily basis. Do you want to explain what you were referring to there?
I want to say through call data, it was noted that there was a communication, like constant communication from a landline at Gauteng prison. But however, when we now interviewed this inmate, he was telling us that it was him communicating with Tau even when he was released, because we were puzzled as to who exactly was communicating with him, because we couldn't identify this public phone to a certain person.
And at paragraph 121.2.1, you note that you have been able to identify Muzi. Can you tell us about this identification?
Yes, Commissioners. This Muzi was identified through the cell phone that was given to us, and furthermore, the vehicle that was seen when Tau was visited. Also, he was there driving the very same vehicle that was also noted during the early stages where we were followed amongst the cars that were following us.
Thank you, Witness B. And you also note that the inmate informed you of interference with the ballistic report. Can you tell the Commission about this?
Yes, Commissioner. To our surprise, at this point, nobody knew about our struggles in getting certain ballistic reports, ballistic linkages and everything. But to our surprise, we were told by an inmate that he was told by Tao that Molefe is the one who made us not to find the ballistic reports.
Ms. Bowe, I think you should accurately reflect through the witness what is in paragraph 12.1.3.
My apologies, Commissioner.
I think the explanation or this account of the witness doesn't quite accurately reflect the statement in 121.3, and either you read it and ask her to confirm that's what she says in there, or she represents it correctly, accurately.
Okay. Witness B, I'm going to read paragraph 121. Paragraph 1.
There's an echo. It seems to have gone now. There was an echo coming from that direction.
At witness B, I'm going to read paragraph 121.1.3.
121.3.
My apologies, Commissioner Baloyi.
And to be fair to the witness, because it's sub-paragraphs, it starts at 121 and the inmate reported the following. Then you go to that relevant sub-paragraph.
Witness B, I'm going to read paragraph 121, subparagraph 3, into the record and for you to clarify.
Let us not reread all of that. I thought the substance of it has been covered, yes.
Yes, subsection 121.3, just that. It says, through their interaction, the inmate reported the following. 121.3, interference with the ballistics report. Mr. Tao informed him, the inmate, that Mr. Molefe had arranged that we get the incorrect report. Commissioner Baloyi is asking for you to reflect on that aspect of your statement because...
Maybe, let me try assist. Witness B, you were describing what you have written in 1.2.3, and I just wanted it to be accurately reflected. Now, Ms. Bowe has just read what that paragraph is. You confirm, perhaps let me ask it this way, do you confirm that that is what the inmate told you, that Mr. Molefe arranged that you got the incorrect report, or you were given the incorrect report by the laboratory?
I confirm, your Commissioner. He actually said Mr. Molefe is the one who arranged that we get the incorrect reports. That's it. That's the correct version of what he said.
Thank you. Thanks, Ms. Bowe.
Commissioners, I don't propose to deal with paragraph 122. Witness B, in the next part of your statement, you deal with the investigation into Mr. Matlala. Can you explain the genesis of this investigation to the commissioners?
Yes, Commissioners. This investigation, I would say, it has started from emanating from Mr. Swart's investigation, whereby at some point I was contacted by the initial person who was investigating this case, 17436 of 10/2023 from Centrin SAPS, after the arrest of the accused in the Swart's murder. That's when he contacted me to say, I heard that you have these particular people that you have arrested. I'm investigating a case whereby I was looking for them, I couldn't find them. Can you please tell me in which prisons are they so that I can charge them on this 436, of which subsequently he did. And then that case was placed on the court roll for some time. But unfortunately...
Witness B?
...through the case to the Stratford court roll.
Witness B, you broke off for a second there. You had told the commissioners that the matter was placed on the roll when your connectivity cut. So can you take it from there?
Okay. Officer who was investigating this matter then explaining that he learned that we have arrested the accused that he has been seeking as well in his matter. Therefore, I should be informing him where are they incarcerated so that he can charge them and take them to court, of which indeed he did that. And then the case was placed on court roll. It was on court roll for some time. And then unfortunately, he was struggling to get the ballistic reports. and then subsequently the case was struck off court roll.
Witness
And then after the
Witness B, if you would just remind us, accused 2 and 3 are who in the Vereeniging case?
accused 2, it's going to be Musa Kekana, and then accused 3, it's going to be Plot Diago, Denny Mabusela.
Thank you.
Witness B, you were still dealing with paragraph 125, where you talk about the struggle to obtain ballistics and that the matter was then struck off the roll. In your statement, you say that the docket primarily relied on ballistics and not much more. Is that your version, or is it that there was a struggle to get the ballistics reports?
I meant to say the reason why the docket was struck off court roll, the reason for the docket to be struck off roll is the lack of ballistic reports thereof. The investigations were not, the part of the other investigations were not mentioned, but the only reason that was mentioned, it was because there is no ballistic report and it was struck off roll.
Thank you, Witness B. And after the matter was struck from the roll, what then transpired?
After the case was struck off court roll, at that point, the case, there was no investigations actively happening in the docket because now we were dealing with the very same accused, and we understood, because we have been warned that's part of the things that can happen, they can escape. We felt that maybe we should be the one investigating this docket so that we can handle the accused with care, since we've been warned. We don't know what could have possibly happened in the hands of other police officers, of which they wouldn't have known what are the possibilities. Therefore, that docket, it was now investigated by this team.
And Witness B, the team taking over the docket, was that done through SAPS processes?
That is correct, commissioners. Moreover, that we were having a relationship with previous IO, hence he also sought me to assist him here and there. So there was a good relationship, of which he felt it was better for the team to take over also.
And then at paragraph 126, you describe how you then were able to link Mr. Matlala. Can you tell the commissioners about this?
Yes, commissioners, and hence I have said that after the PKTT joined the team, they brought a different expertise. So the case was investigated, and then at first we looked at the reason why the case was struck off court roll in the first place, and then we obtained that ballistic report and we took the docket back to court roll. Furthermore, we had now to look further than that, because there was now these phones that were being analyzed, and certain information emerged that caused for the team now to look further than the hitman, if I may use that name, and then look now for the reason, a motive why in the first place this victim had to be assassinated. And then we had to look as to who would have wanted him assassinated. And then with the information from the cell phones, the information from the motive and the interviews with the victims, it came apparent that there was a person who was having interest to take out this victim. And then furthermore, investigations like the money that was paid to the suspect, it was followed and traced, and all necessary investigation in that regard was done. And then the case now was ready to be discussed for decision with the prosecutor, of which that had its own glitches at first, because the case was taken to courts with the J50 to be authorized, but that proved to be a problem, because at some point the prosecutor was convinced. He issued the warrant of arrest, and on second opinion he withdrew and said no, this must be taken to DPP where the decision should be taken, of which it delayed the process a bit, maybe a month or two, but subsequently the DPP was happy to issue the warrant of arrest, and then shortly after the warrant of arrest was issued, and then it was operationalized, and Mr. Vusi Matlala was arrested on the 14th of May 2025.
Thank you, Witness B. Commissioners, just to note that at paragraph 127, Witness B deals very briefly with the data, call data, and bank data. Witness C will be dealing with this in detail. Witness B, my apologies.
Sorry, Commissioners. I think it's important to note this because it might get confused. I would like to put on record that whatever happened at Ket Matlala's on the 6th of December and this arrest are two different incidents unrelated.
Thank you, Witness B. Commissioners, just to note that the genesis of the operation at Mr. Matlala's house on the 6th of December was explained by the National Commissioner as relating to questioning regarding the kidnapping of Mr. Boshoga. Witness B, you deal with Mr. Matlala's arrest at paragraph 129, and you have also briefly in your testimony. Is there anything you'd like to add in that regard?
I would like to add that the reason why Mr. Matlala was arrested on the 14th, it was in relation with the botched hits of Miss Tobejani, of which is a sentence at a sentencing club, and the charges therefore are attempted murder and conspiracy to commit murder, and this attempted murder are 3 counts of it. And subsequently later, his wife as well was arrested on the very same matter, and she was released on bail at 20,000 range.
Thank you, Witness B. And at paragraph 130, you note that Mr. Matlala's phones were seized. Is there anything you'd like to say in that regard?
Oh yes, in both of their arrests, Mr. Matlala and Mrs. Matlala respectively, both their phones were seized, and both they gave consent for them to be seized and accessed.
And lastly, in paragraph 131, you explain that there was, from the phone downloads, a number of conversations were noted. Do you want to briefly note what you observed from these downloads?
Without dwelling on this one, because I believe that Witness C will be in depth on this matter, but what I can say from those phone downloads, a number of conversations linking Mr. Matlala to key SAPS officials, business people, and academics were noted. And then, as I've said, I'm advised that another witness will be speaking to this. But in addition, this is where, in particular, when I was dealing with Brigadier Shibiri, I saw that particular conversation.
Thank you, Witness B. The next topic that you deal with is ongoing related ballistics investigations. At paragraph 132, you explain the type of analysis that you were doing and the results thereof. Can you explain to the commissioners what you were doing with the various types of information at your disposal?
Yes, Commissioners. With the cell phones in our disposal and with the firearms in our disposal and information, we were able now to have some linkages, especially to the accused that are already arrested in the SWAT matter, to many more others crime scenes. And then the ballistic as well started now to yield some results now with the use of the ballistic experts that were part of the PKTT.
And at paragraph 133, you explained that this process, the ballistics investigations, have resulted in 2 types of linkages. Can you explain this to the Commission?
Yes, Commissioners. This ballistic resulted into 2 parts of ballistic results. We had unconfirmed hits and we have confirmed hits. Maybe to go a little further, in these confirmed hits, we have the certain category that I would like to speak about rather, because we have the ones that we already took to court and we have the confirmed that are still under the investigation, not yet at court.
Thank you, Witness B. And on the confirmed linkages that are at court, you give a description of some of these at para 134. Do you want to explain these to the Commission?
Yes, I would like to name them to the commissions that, but I'll try to link them to the who is charged on that. Then I'll start by saying those who are at court related to Katiso, Molefe, and all 3 hitmen. It's gonna be sent in case 398 of 11/2022, whereby the victims there will be John Sifuka, will be Sandile Mieza, and will be Water Mbuena. Basically, I would say it's triple murder, the charges there. And then I'll come to Orlando, 220 of 3/2022, and the victim there, it's Vinto. It's known as DJ Vintos, but it's Hector Buthelezi. And then on the another one, it's Orlando 93 of 2023, and that is a count of murder as well, whereby the victim there is Don Tindleni. Before I move to the next set of cases, I would like to have a comment on those ones that I've just mentioned. That this all these victims were brutally killed. Those who knows how brutally Swart was killed, these ones are actually modus operandi exactly the same. And then I'll move over to the ones now that is related to Ket Matlala, including in this instance not all three hitmen. Mr. Tau is not part of this, but the other two are. That would be sent in 436 of 10, 2023. The charges will be 3 times attempted murder, conspiracy to commit murder, money laundering, and fraud. The next one, it will be Littleton, 167 of 8, 2022, and the charges there will be 5 times attempted murder. And the victim thereof is going to be Mr. Joseph Anyumi. And the last one is going to be Pretoria West 447 of 1, 2024. There again, it's 3 times attempted murder, and the intended victim there, it was Siengi Mokubo, who's known as DJ Verdis.
Witness B, at paragraph 136, you note the number of ballistic hits since the Swart murder. Can you tell the commissioners about this?
Yes, since the Swart murder and the recovery of these firearms, the ballistic hits that in total that we have at the present, of which it might be more because it's a continuous investigation, it's to the number of 30.
Witness B, what does it mean 30 hits? Is it 30 cases or 30 people linked to the casings or whatever? What does it mean 30 hits?
Oh, commissioners, 30 hits, it means these firearms are linked to 30 cases, not per victim, as in some of the cases I would mention 3, 4, 5. But this one, it mean that it's 30 different cases.
Thank you.
Ms. Bowe, I am by no means pressuring you one direction or the other. How much longer do you think you are going to be at some point much earlier? We had thought that we could go on and finalize the testimony of witness B, and then based on what we were told in chambers, then adjourn for the day. But that all depends on how far you are. If you feel that you still have a lot to cover, we could adjourn now and resume after lunch. Or if you think you are not too far off the end, we could continue till the end. You are better placed to tell us what we should do.
Chair, I was going to say, with all of the accumulated early adjournments I've requested, I think 15 minutes would be appropriate because we only have 2 short sections to complete with the witness. I don't believe it will be longer than 15 minutes.
And do you now have the outstanding exhibits readily at hand?
Yes, we do.
Let's continue then.
Thank you. Commissioners, while we are on those exhibits, we beg leave to hand them up. It's consolidated into one document. Witness B, do you have in front of you a document that depicts the car, the silver Ford Raptor and the number plate, as well as the registration details of this vehicle?
Yes, Commissioners, I do have.
Can you confirm that this is what you were referring to in your earlier testimony?
Yes, I do confirm.
Commissioners, this would be marked B16.
So the Ford Raptor is the vehicle that you say was at the Vereeniging Magistrates Court?
That's correct, Commissioner.
And is the vehicle that you say was found upon being checked to be registered in the name of Brigadier Abraham Mbangwa Kwashu?
That's right, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Witness B, that vehicle that we're looking at, the Ford Raptor, is your evidence that this is on the day that you were in court? Because there's no context to it. It could be any other street. What is your evidence about this picture that we are looking at right now?
Can I have the commissioner repeating the question for me?
This picture, or this vehicle, let me say, the silver Ford Raptor, where was this photograph taken? Maybe let me keep it simple.
This one, it's an LPR, it's a license plate recognition cameras.
You're not saying to us now that this picture was taken on the day that you were in court and anywhere near you. You're not saying that?
Commissioner, this vehicle was spotted by the surveillance team, and what they noted is that it was driven by Katiso, and then because it had one plate on it, then it was now checked on the system only to be found that it belongs to the brigadier.
Can I maybe try? Witness B, in B16, there's a photograph of Brigadier Nkwashu, then there's a photograph of the silver Ford Raptor. Where does that photograph come from, and when was it taken?
The photograph of the vehicle?
Yes.
It was obtained from the surveillance cameras that we call on LPR on a further investigation from the information.
And where are these surveillance cameras? Are they at the Vereeniging Magistrate Court or somewhere else?
In the vicinity of the Magistrate Court.
Commissioners, we will ask about which camera in particular. The LPR cameras are placed at different locations, so we'll ascertain from the witness which camera in particular.
I think what we're looking for, Ms. Bowe, is confirmation that this photograph is on the 5th of March and that it is spotted somewhere near the court, because what we need to establish is that connection. You understand the concern we are trying to address?
Yes, Commissioner Baloyi.
Thank you.
Witness B, the next topic that you deal with relates to the Big Five cartel, and in the first instance, you provide there a infographic. Are you able to talk the commissioners through this infographic?
Commissioners, this infographic information, it was mainly talked to by the General Khumalo, of which I would like to stick to certain parts of it, not the whole of it.
Yes, Witness B. You can continue?
Yes. Yes, what I can say about this is that through the course of this investigation, it has come to our attention so many times that we were dealing with the Big Five cartels in this case. And the name that was outstanding amongst other names, it was the name of Mswazi, of which it will be referred to sometimes as FAM and sometimes as FEM. But mostly the word FEM, we will hear from mostly the hitmen saying, when they talk amongst themselves, saying we are the best in the FEM, bragging about, shortly after the killing, they might be bragging and declare themselves as the best in the FEM. But in some other instances, people will refer to the farm. And then what is noted throughout the investigation is that in this Big Five, it's not just something that is not coordinated. It's more like a structure. And from my understanding, if I may put it from my understanding, I would say that there was an executive and other bodies underneath, of which Mswazi appeared to be, if I may put it in a simple term, in other structures, I would say he would be referred to as president, and the rest of the executive, maybe the ministers, if I may put it like that, of which that formed the Big Five. But what I can say, this is not limited to just 5 people. There's lots more people that are not having titles, but they're part of the what's so-called farm.
And Witness B, you'll see on the infographic to the right, you note the fixers. Yes,
there will be the people that we will refer to as fixers are amongst those. I would say they were not a part of the executives thereof, because amongst this executive there's different entities which one would lead, and including this so-called hit men. Like in an organization where I would say I'm a police, there will be like also fixed to say I'm a hitman for this particular firm, but the handlers will be different, as we'll see in the investigation on this case, that it's not only Katiso will be handling those people. There are other handlers that I'm not in the liberty to talk about at this stage. Maybe I would be able to do that not in public, maybe for commissioners only, because of the sensitivity of the other information, but I will only touch on what is out there already. In the part of fixers, that's where you will find the high-ranking SAPS, the prominent business people, and so forth. And then I'm going back to the handlers of the hitmen. I would like to also state that these hitmen that are arrested are not, in the firm, they are not the only ones. It's not limited to them. In actual fact, there's more. That's why they think they are the best. They are the ones that they are not so best, because when you do deeper investigation, you may find themselves also of the hits that they feel that they're not in their standard. They don't entail any high-profile people. Those ones, sometimes they won't be doing, they might be talking about themselves that this is not in our standard, we'll be sourcing to others, meaning there is more in the farm. That's why now I want the commissioner to look at this structure to say more than that we can now be happy and say we have arrested the hitmen. It's not even a start of solving the problem, because they can always, the hit orderers, source other hitmen, and the killings, they go on and on. That's why it's so important to deal with the actual hit orderers, because they are more problematic than just the hitmen. The hitmen are just a pawn in their hands. That's why it makes my heart bleed when the courts, they feel like there's little that they are contributing in these crimes, when actually they are the actual problems. Because without them, most probably, I wouldn't have been tempted to do this. We would have been an honest police officer and do an honest job.
Witness B, you then explain how one of the departments of the firm works, and the department you wanted to focus on is the hit orderers. In particular, at paragraph 139, you talk about how the hitmen are activated or employed for certain jobs. Can you take the commissioners through this? And you also provide the example of the attempted hit on Mr. Bajani. Can you explain this to the commissioners?
Yes, commissioners. What I wanted to make it clearer is that those hit men, they don't just wake up and decide that we are going to do a certain job. They are being handled. They have to seek permission. If they have something that they got that came straight to them, they have to confirm with their handler if is it okay. That's where my point is coming from, that more than them being a problem, we know that they are the one doing the shooting, but there's more people that are an actual real problem, because they are the one giving orders, meaning there is nothing that can happen without their orders. And when we're touching on Tobejanis, we see them planning and saying they need to get cats, they need to check with cats if he had gotten the permission from their handler to do this job. And we can see there that they were like struggling. They didn't have money, so they were looking for something to do in order for them to have money. And it's noted that one of them needed to buy a car. So now they had to ask the permission to say, can we do that job? The person who needed the job done needs to confirm with the handler. It's okay, is he giving a green light?
And in this instance, at paragraph 140.2, you indicate that confirmation was then provided?
That's right, commissioners. Indeed, at one of the conversation, he mentioned that confirmation has been provided, and then shortly after that, we seek at Matlala paying money to him, but not directly, through his daughter.
You then note at paragraph 141 that this is a pattern that you've seen across cases. Can you explain this briefly?
Oh, yes, commissioners, let me just stick to case. We can see now that this is not the only case whereby we see him paying the very same hitman all the time through his daughter's bank account.
In witness B, in paragraph 138, you say something about since at least when the arrested contract killers have been active. You say something about that. Do you want to speak to that?
Oh, yes, Commissioner, thank you. Well, I believe that it's very important. From what the investigation has revealed up to so far, at least I can say it has been active since 2019.
Thank you.
And at paragraph 141, witness B, you note that in the ongoing investigations, you've seen similar patterns of permission being granted before a hit is executed. Is that your evidence?
That's my evidence, commissioners. Hence, you can now see when I was trying to give the commissioner a picture of the cases that I'm in liberty to talk about, because they had caught already. Not that there's nothing else, but now for the purpose of effectiveness, I would rather stick to the ones at court. You will see that there is cases that are linking directly Molefe, and they are the ones that are linking Matlala. And you will see the pattern. Where Molefe is concerned, everybody's there, and mostly it's high-profile cases. But where Matlala is concerned, I think Tao doesn't feel that he can do anything for him. Maybe disregard him. I don't know. But he's never part of that. And you'll see, because of his experience in shooting, they always have attempted when he's not there.
Thank you, Witness B. And the last topic that you deal with in your statement is your conclusion.
Advocate Boy, before we go to the conclusion, in paragraph 120 of the statement, we were referred to letters annexures B8 and B9. But I've noticed that just after B9, there is what appears to be a screenshot of a text. I was wondering if this witness is going to give evidence about that, or if we should just leave it.
Commissioner Kumalo, you've just preempted us. That is a confidential annexure that's only provided to the commissioners to have regard to, but she will speak to why she's giving it to you to have to read in the conclusion. Witness B, at paragraph 142, you mention how this murder investigation has changed your life, and in this regard, you also provided us with a screenshot of an earlier threat. Do you want to explain this to the commission?
Yes, commissioners, even though I wouldn't like that screenshot to be in public, but I would like to say that throughout the course of my investigation, I've been confronted with all sorts of threats. This one, it seems to be the most out of everything, even though some of them are not even direct. By that screenshot, I was trying to show the commission that I've been confronted directly with an SMS, and how I was going to be killed, it was well detailed in that message. That's why I shared with the commissioners. Even though it dates back to 2019, I'm trying to show the commissioners that the circumstances of this job has never been easy from then, but this is extreme.
And Witness B, you know my difficulty with reading isiZulu, because there's one part of this that you didn't want exposed publicly. Do you have a problem with reading it and excluding just that part?
I'd rather get hold of it, because I didn't have it with me now, because I didn't think it will be part of this testimony. But I wouldn't mind to read certain parts and skip certain parts.
Okay. Do you now have it in front of you?
It's gonna take a minute, because I need to, from my side, I didn't print it, still in my phone.
No, then it's fine. The commissioners have it in front of them, and they will have regard to it.
Okay.
The witness may read those parts of it that she's comfortable to.
Chair, just one second while I share it with my colleague, so that we can then share it for the witness to see on the Zoom link.
Advocate Pue, I understood, just check with the witness. I understood that she's not comfortable reading it, so just double check that she's now comfortable to read it.
Witness B, are you comfortable reading this?
In actual fact, commissioners, I can highlight certain things that are said there, but I would rather prefer to read it to commissioners only. But in public, I can just say that it specifically say, yeah, when Antombazane, uyabona lokho phapha kwakho ukuthi ungaphila abantu ibail sesikuphe i30 offerisha i30,000 manje ke sizokudubula nge AK47 because wena unamasende eswini. And then it went on to speak about family, as to we've been following you and then for the 8 days, and then we know where is your home, we know who's your family members, we know where are they working. However, he stipulated to say, but they are not involved, but you are the one, because you don't want to behave like a female, you behave like a man rather, so we'll deal with you like a man. And it further says, when you drive, just check in the robots, because you'll never know when we'll hit.
And you say that despite these kinds of threats, this case in particular has been worse.
Yes, commissioners. This one, it has been worse, because at that point I knew that I was dealing with a criminal and I was ready to face him off. But in this instance, I'm not looking at the criminals only. I must look over my shoulder amongst some of our own. So it's so hard, and you don't know exactly who we must look for. It makes it very hard. And you know for sure that it's very easy to be killed in the situation where some of your own are involved, because we know each other. I mean, some people you may think that they're close to you, they've got your best interests at heart, only to find they are the ones that are going to sell you out. So this one, I would say it has been extremely difficult on this one. There's a lot that had to happen. We had to be detached from our families. We have children that doesn't understand the situation. And maybe it worth me mentioning that we have different roles in our families, and some of my roles now I can't perform, including in a process of teaching children the right things. I was the person that was taking children to church, and they might be calling and saying, "Mama, when are you going to church? We want to go to church." And they wouldn't understand that church is not happening anymore because of why. And I remember at some point we were having, when I decided now to stop even driving a vehicle earlier times, when we would be talking amongst the adults to say what dangers are they. One time I was driving with them and they were saying, "Hey, we are going to be shot here, we're going to die." It affects even the families.
And Witness B, you explained that through this journey you have also encountered some people you'd want to mention.
Oh, yes. I think out of this testimony, we've said most of negative encounters. But in this journey, there has been a lot of people that have contributed to this case to be successful. And then including, maybe let me start by saying from when the case was placed, that a senior prosecutor was very helpful, was very understanding. That's why when we see as the dangers heightened, she felt to take it upon herself. Because she could understand from the beginning what are the challenges, what was at stake. She decided to write to our superiors to say they need to do something about our safety, and we'll be forever grateful to work with such prosecutors. It's not only her. Maybe it worth mentioning the outstandings of these people that have been helpful, even our colleagues that have been behind us all the time. Even when it gets too much, we needed to say something to someone, including this Sergeant Matendra that I have spoken about. And I'm not going to leave out these security people that have helped us when we were most vulnerable. And I would also want to say that since these decades we've been struggling here and there, we have met even the advocates that are very helpful, that are very supportive, that are guiding us throughout this investigation. And there's so many commanders. I don't want to say at the SAPS that we encountered the wrong. There's so many commanders at the offices that we have seek help, that they have been of the utmost assistant. And I was like emotional at some point during this course of this testimony, because some of them I even forgot about them, but they might be sending the messages to say, "We are behind you guys, you are doing a good job," and stuff like that. So I would really like to say, out of all the challenges, there has been also good people that have been making this difficult situation a little easier. I wouldn't leave out all the magistrates that we stood before, that understood the challenges that we were facing, and that they looked, I don't know how they look, but they saw the dangers of those people that were handling. However, at some courts, they feel like it's nothing, and it hurts because that includes us being subjected to more danger. And I felt so bad at some point when the judge making a comment to say, "I feel very sorry for the investigating officers." How do you feel sorry, but you let the danger come to us? Even in the first bail appeal, that such utterance was like, "I can see the investigating officers are in the room and they are with their protectors," but that means nothing.
Witness B, in paragraph 145, in the fourth line, there's a sentence right at the end. It starts, it goes into the fifth line, "We learned during the investigation that our institution is so compromised." You see that?
Yes.
Right, and then right at the end of that paragraph, you say something about the effect of what you have learned. Do you want to speak to that briefly?
Oh, yes. I said this has the effect of sowing distrust amongst members and undermining the work we do.
Yes. Thank you, Ms. Boy.
Thank you, Witness B. Chair, that concludes Witness B's testimony.
I have two questions. I'm mindful of time, but one relates to 144. But in my notes, I noted that Witness B, when I was asking her about Tau's subsequent arrest, in response to that question, she also mentioned that Tau was convicted. So I don't know if I've got my notes incorrect or if it is a fact that Tau was convicted. If he was, can Witness B just tell us about that conviction so that we have the full picture?
Yes, Commissioners, yes, indeed. In terms of the case of contravention of bail conditions, he was indeed convicted on the 15th of September, and he was convicted on two counts. It's just that I don't have the conviction nearby me, but it was more like of contravention and disrespecting of the courts. I don't know if I put it in the right word, but in both he was sentenced to 1 to 12 months or...
Was it contempt of court, Witness B?
Yes, that's right, Commissioner. Thank you. It was contempt of court and contravention of bail conditions. And then on contempt of court, can I please try to check so that I read it for the correctness of it? Because as much as I try to remember, I may make mistakes and I don't want to do that on record.
Yes, Witness B.
I'm checking. Please, just a minute. On contravention of Section 67, he was sentenced to... I don't have the right...
Witness B.
Yeah, it is.
Witness.
It is.
Oh.
On charge 1.
I wanted to say, Witness B, the paraphrase you gave is enough for our purposes, so you don't need to worry about that.
Commissioner, I was not prepared with this one.
Yes, no, that's in order. If you have no problem with the paraphrase, it's fine with us.
And then maybe the last one, Witness B, related to paragraph 144, because as you correctly put it, these are ongoing cases. But you say in paragraph 144, however, my hope is that this commission looks into instances of interference we have outlined, and that there is both individual and structural accountability. Do you want to just comment on that paragraph?
Yes, Commissioners, I really, really hope and wish that out of all this hard work of the Commission, we'll see a change, we'll see accountability, and maybe I would want to go further to say, as much as we got the opportunity to have to tell the commissions of our encounters, we are not the only ones. Maybe we are the mouthpiece of the rest of... the police officers out there who are striving to do the right, but find themselves in a situation whereby they were given the circumstances they're giving them the option to either do the right or to die, of which it's unfair, because some of us, when we joined the police, it was not by mistake, and we do believe that we were placed by God to do the right thing. And now, if you want us to make that call, to say we do what we're not called to do or we die, it's a difficult situation. Nobody's having a spare life. We only have one life. However, we really want to make a difference. What makes me now, I don't want to cry, right? But what makes me emotional the most, amongst these cases that we've been investigating, the pictures that is depicted, it works on me. And even mostly after some years, I've been visiting these families. Most of them, they have cried on my shoulder, and they had a hope that will do a difference and that will bring justice. Even the ones that are not yet at court, but they even support the ones that are at court because they understand the pain. They're hoping that we'll also solve their own crimes. But when we're supposed to do the right thing, we're having challenges from the offices that they shouldn't be challenging us, from the offices they should be supporting us. That's why I'm hoping and praying that this will bring change, not only to SAPS, even to the legislations itself, because there's so many gaps that gives this criminal a chance. And they're not even apologetic about it. Sometimes it hurts because they tell you in your face that I'll get bail again. I will never stay in prison. In whatever you're doing, you're playing. Even if you, like it went as far as, even if you can bring your 20 meters, I'll still get bail. It hurts.
Thank you, Witness B. That concludes Witness B's testimony. Ms. Moe?
Commissioners, I was just informed that at some point, Witness B wasn't done with her acknowledgements. I just want to check in to see if she is done. Witness B, can we consider this to be the conclusion of your testimony?
It almost is. I wouldn't be doing justice by not mentioning General Mkhwanazi. I heard so many times in the socials, people say we are General Mkhwanazi's children. Even though I haven't seen General Mkhwanazi, I haven't met General Mkhwanazi, but what he did on July 6th, I'll be always grateful, because I was saying that it's not like people, they didn't know those things. No one had the courage to take it out there, and we were dying one by one. Hence, we've indicated with one of our own colleagues, we're going to die. I'm not saying now that this happened, we're not going to die. But I will die peacefully knowing that I was doing the right thing and the whole country knows what cause did I die for. Because when you're dead, they keep telling people stories that are not true. But at least I've got the opportunity to speak for myself while I'm still alive.
Thank you, Witness B. Chair, that concludes the testimony of Witness B. Chair, as it relates to the next witness, Witness C, unfortunately, Witness C is undertaking an examination today and can only commence his testimony tomorrow morning.
So we adjourn for the day and we resume at 9:30 tomorrow. Let's adjourn.